Growing up for me on on the North Shore is a little different. First thing, one of the first memories of life was them blowing our door off to raid our house and to arrest my dad and beating the shit out of my mom in front of me and putting a gun to my head, telling me they're gonna shoot me and this and that and 97 cops for one guy. And I remember walking down the stairs. I wrote it in a song that I'm coming out with. Is it blood down my face or just a little sweat? I remember the blood from my mom's face was dripping on me. And she was like naked. They wouldn't even let her put on clothes. Finally got to get her clothes on and stuff. And yeah, so I was born into a family of someone who allegedly was a bad guy, and yeah, that's how it all started. And from there, we went to a shaping house. I lived in a shaping room and a glassing room, and my dad went to jail. We lived on the beach over here, right in front of where our house is now. We lived in a tent on the beach. We never have house. We just had a tent, and the ocean was always there for me. I mean, my name Makua Kai means father of the sea, guardian of the sea, and I think I was just born to be a surfer. I had nowhere else to go. Like I said, we're on a tent on the beach over here. The only place I could go is straight out front, go swim. And um, being sick and asthma, being sick 9 months out of the year at that time was a really really rough start to life. Thank God for my family, my uncles and aunties, my grandmother was a big influence on my life, and my dad. He did what he could do until he could be there with us all the time. And um, surfing, the sport of surfing comes from my ancestors. We created the sport of surfing. It's the sport of kings, and I'm the 12th great grandson of Kamehameha. Straight down the line, if you look at the genealogy chart, I have it over here. And yeah, so it runs in my blood. It's in my name, and yeah, that's pretty much how surfing. I got my start surfing was I had no choice but to go to the ocean.
Yeah, and then I mean I mean your dad with a bunch of like really, most people would say heavy characters, but like started the Hui, which is basically a surf club. And I mean in Australia we have a lot of surf clubs, and it's very similar to what I think. Like they started something to come together and create something together, and I mean that must have been pretty amazing to be a part of that growing up too. Like all the heavy hitters, all those heroes. Like Johnny Boy and Sonny. I mean, what an incredible like way to grow up. Like on the North Shore, they have those guys as your heroes, and basically they're your brothers, your uncles, like they're your family. You're like you really did have a unique and special upbringing. It's pretty radical.
Oh yeah, I mean Dane Kealoha lived at my house. Buttons, Johnny Boy came home. My dad took him from the boys' home, and he came and lived with us. Titus Kinimaka, Ali Kai Kinimaka, all my uncles, um, you name it, they were there. I was definitely in an interesting situation in life, especially at that point in time. The Hui and Da Hui was started in 1975, and it was a club that was formed to keep this place for the locals. Like there was a lot of people coming in, um, trying to exploit the place, and Pops and the boys just said, if you guys are gonna play, you guys are gonna pay," and that's what it was. And it turned into a really big thing. It turned into a club of, like you said, some of the best surfers in the world. I can remember going to the signings, and Derek Ho would be there, Derek and Mike, and Max Maderis, Larry Rios. I mean, all like the guys that were the guys back in the day were my uncles, and it's just such a special thing to be able to be in that situation in life and be influenced by so many great Hawaiian surfers.
Yeah, and I even to this day the Hui are doing. We do the Fourth of July paddle race every year, which is by far one of the funnest paddle races ever. I've been doing, I did that years for years and years, and then you guys do the backdoor shootout, which, from all accounts, from all the surfers, is one of the funnest, best events that is put on, in the whole year as well. So
Well,
not only did they start in '75, they're still going in 2020.
oh yeah. Well, once upon a time, we used to have the whole entire Sunset Elementary School, and it used to be one major Easter egg hunt. I don't know, maybe 20 years or more. They'd start down by the little pavilion that's there now, and there'd be age groups, and it was the biggest Easter egg hunt at the time. And I'm not sure what happened with all of that and the permits, and people complain for I don't know what reason sometimes, and turn a good thing away. And we have the longest standing beach cleanups in Hawaii. We have the longest paddleboard race. We have one of the biggest paddleboard races in the state. The backdoor
In the
shootout,
world.
the surf contest. I mean, oh yeah. I mean, you would know.
Yeah.
How many times have you won our race?
Uh, a couple.
What's so funny is that as soon as you pull up, guys are like, "Oh, okay, we got second. No, nobody's going for first if Jamie's here." Oh yeah, well, it's been a lot of things. Work in the community. Just trying to keep the North Shore, man. This place is so crazy. I mean, it is what it is. It turned from like the most local, beautiful place where only locals would come out to before, kind of because it was so rural and there was nothing really out here, to becoming this the Mecca, the Super Bowl, one of the most sought after places on in Hawaii. I mean, besides Waikiki Beach, everybody wants to see the pipeline. Everybody wants to see Erie Aikau, the Waimea Bay, and this place is so magical. That's why I think being brought up here, raising our families here, just like you know where to bring them. It's a beautiful place. There's a lot of beautiful people here, and yeah, we're gonna continue that legacy on.